Lo, by Charles Hoyfort, Part 1, Chapter 14b. That in this winter of 1904-05, there were two excitements in Northumberland. One was the wolf hunt, and the other was a revival craze, which had spread from Wales to England. At the time of the wolf hunt, there was religious mania in Northumberland. Men and women staggered, as they wept and shouted, bearing reeling lights, in delirious torchlight processions. If Monarch, the celebrated bloodhound, sniffed and sat down, I feel, myself, that the trail cannot be picked up in Hexham. It was a time of widespread, uncanny occurrences in Great Britain. But in no account of any one uncanny occurrence have I read of any writer's awareness that there were other uncanny occurrences, or more than one or two other uncanny occurrences. There were many special scares at this time in Great Britain. Here was no general scare. The contagions of popular delusions cannot be lugged in as a general explanation. Strange, luminous things, or beings, were appearing in Wales. In Wales had started one of the most widely hysterical religious revivals of modern times. A light in the sky and a pious screech. I sniff, but I don't sit down. A wolf and a light and a screech. There are elaborate accounts of the luminous things, or beings, in the Proceedings of the Society for Psychical Research, Volume 19, and in the first volume of the Occult Review. We are told that, over the piously palpitating Principality of Wales, shining things travelled, stopping and descending when they came to a revival meeting, associating in some unknown way with these centres of excitation, especially where Mrs. Mary Jones was the leader. There is a story of one shining thing that persistently followed Mrs. Jones' car, and was not shaken off when the car turned abruptly from one road to another. So far as acceptability is concerned, I prefer the accounts by newspaper men. It took considerable to convince them. Writers, sent to Wales by London newspapers, set out with blithe incredulity. Almost everybody has a hankering for mysteries, but it is likely to be an abstract hankering, and when a mystery comes up in one's own experience, one is likely to treat it in a way that warns everybody else that one is not easily imposed upon. The first reports that were sent back by the Londoners were flippant, but in the London Daily Mail, February 13, 1905, one of these correspondents describes something like a ball of fire, which he saw in the sky, a brilliant object that was motionless for a while, then disappearing. Later he came upon such an appearance, near the ground, not 500 feet away. He ran toward it, but the thing disappeared. Then Bernard Redwood was sent, by the Daily Mail, to investigate. In the Mail, February 13th, he writes that there were probably will-o'-the-wisps, helped out by practical jokers. As we very well know, there are no more helpful creatures than practical jokers, but, as inquiry stoppers, will-o'-the-wisps have played out. A conventionalist, telling the story, today, would say that they were luminous bats from a chapel belfry, and that a sexton had shot one. Almost every writer who accepted that these things were, thought that in some unknown, or unknowable, way, they were associated with a revival. It is said that they were seen hovering over chapels. According to my methods, I have often settled upon special periods, gathering data, with the idea of correlating, but I have never come upon any other time in which were reported so many uncanny occurrences.